go out, and away they go then, and it's Charles Hall and Leon Morel on the front row of the grid, and it's Charles Hall who's got his nose in front trying to swoop around the outside. I find it a bit difficult to view on some of the cameras, I think, with the settings.
He's made it, hasn't he? 77 Charles Hall leads. Leon Morel, the champion, is in second place.
I think it's Phil Brown third.
Phil Brown goes through in the red car, dives through into third, one of the Radical SR3s, one of the many.
Absolutely right, and we'll keep an eye on the rest of the field of the Sports 1000. They're just about to come through to start their race, so let's see if we can see them head down towards Cops Corner for the first time. Yes, we can. And the flag drops and the race gets underway. So it's Yarrow on the left-hand side of the circuit, and he is ahead of the Wolf. But it's Dave Watson in the MK Indy that was reasonably wide on the outside at Cops Corner.
And 44 behind him is right over the curb.
Yeah, that was the car of Carl Austin.
Oh, and that's the Revelation spun.
Revelation
half spun.
Yeah, Revelation didn't quite have a rotation, but and we do have a spinner there, and that's the car from fourth position. Is that the car of Keeville, James Keeville?
Jamie Keeville, the white Radical, could well be.
Oh, and there's an MK that's well off the circuit there at Beckett's. It's the 80 car that has gone for a spin. That's Carl Alaban. That's well off the circuit there, but it's Ryan Yarrow leading that part of the race. Dave Watson, I think, got himself up to second, but the Wolf is trying to recover that position now. We've got Charles Graham side by side with the number 14 car there. That's Kenzie Beecroft.
He's got through, Charles Graham, in the Daytona car. Disappointed yesterday to break down in the last few minutes of the Burkitt 6-hour relay, but he's a multiple winner of it. So, and bottleneck through there.
Well, Chapman's got up to second place, hasn't he? So the Wolf's lost out at the Vale. It's Rich Webb now ahead in the two MK Indies in the number 88 car, ahead of Dave Watson as well. So Chapman to second place here.
Yeah, Colin Chapman, the veteran, former motorcycle racer, been racing for more than 40 years, one way or another.
Yeah, did some motocross, I think, as well. And
that was the original thing, yeah.
So we've got the Sports 1000 battle coming through. Charles Hall has completed the first lap race 1.54 seconds ahead of Leon Morel. Philip Brown third, John McLeod fourth, Daniel Headlam in the 51 car is fifth, and number 2 Charles Graham is sixth. Got this little battle going on between the two MK Indies, the Hayabusa engined cars, MK chassis. And they are running 4th and 5th at the moment in the Sports 1000 set. Ryan Yarrow getting away here, though, from Colin Chapman in second place. And Dan Clues just in the background. He's starting to make a little bit of progress. He was well down the grid for this one, and he was the driver that could have taken the championship fight to Ryan Yarrow, but it didn't work out that way.
It's a superb field of bike sports cars, isn't it? More than 20 of them in action here.
Yeah, no, I mean, the two together, more than 40 cars. It's absolutely fantastic to have this many bike-engined sports cars, slick tire or otherwise, racing together.
And the Radicals are by and large pretty well matched, down to driver ability. First Radicals appeared, I think, at Mallory Park, didn't they, with the 750 Motor Club back in the late 90s.
That's right.
They showed a car in the paddock, and then Mick Hyde and Phil Abbott started racing them, and then suddenly everyone had one.
Yeah, absolutely. It really took off very quickly.
Yeah, they sold like hot cakes.
Yeah, originally the Radical Club Sport.
That was the original Club Sport with the Kawasaki 1100 engine, yeah.
Yeah, and then the Pro Sport was developed after that, wasn't it? Here are the two Atomic Racing cars together. The MK Indies, it's Dave Watson chasing after Richard Webb. John Cutmore in the Spire is just behind both of them as well, as they head out of Chapel Curve onto the Hanger Straight for the second time in this race.
Ducking out of the slipstream, that was Watson, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's got a slightly deranged right front wheel arch, hasn't he? That's waving in the breeze. Possibly slowing him down a little bit on the hang straight, but no matter if he's got through.
Around the outside at Stowe.
Colin Chapman going really well here in second place overall. What's happened, or is he still in second? What's happened to the Wolf? Where has the Wolf gone? Did it come through at the end of the first? No, it came through in third, Seamus Heaney, but he seems to have disappeared since then. So maybe Seamus Heaney's got a problem, and is out of the race, which would be a big shame. Yeah, because he's not in this group here. You've got the two MKs, then you've got John Cutmore, then you've got Dan Clues. So I'm afraid it looks like Seamus Heaney's a retirement from this race.
So you can see the balance of the MK cars, the 200 Cup cars, are really strong with that engine sitting bang central. And you don't have those sort of a pendulous end to worry about if you get it slightly out of shape, because it's all the driver and engine all sitting within the wheelbase.
That's right. Ooh, and now Cutmore's going to try and get up on the inside of Webb. Can't make it work though. Yarrow still leads Chapman. Meanwhile, the Bikesports have completed their second laps. Charles Hall still leading. He's stretched his advantage now to 3.1 seconds over Leon Morel in second place. And off the circuit goes Richard Webb there. No, Dave Watson there, we should say, in the number 85 car. He's gone straight on at Brooklands, but has rejoined. He's ahead of Dan Clues, but he's lost out to John Cutmore in the number 98 Spire. Just under 11 minutes of the race left to go. And it is getting towards sunset here. So some quite an atmospheric time of day to be racing.
The inside into Copse has come Dan Clues there, past Dave Watson. Arrows made it into the top 22.
That's the 69 car coming through, which is Ian Hutchinson's Spire. There's the 93 car, Stephen Larkham from Carrickfergus. I think he was a winner at Kirkiston last weekend.
And then PR6s. There's the Wolf.
Yeah.
What's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's time to go to the pits.
It seems to be the case, doesn't it? So that's Seamus Heaney looking to be out of the race, although, well, they're going to actually get the car back out. So we've got Radicals heading down the Wellington Straight. This is the number 2 car of Charles Graham. He's in 7th place, but we're getting Richard Hardy making up a place there.
That's one of the veterans of this.
And he's got himself ahead of, was that Doug Carter?
Doug Carter, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Charles Graham car.
Yeah, and I think has Jack Tomlin cleared them now? Yes, he's come through into 7th, and he of course was the non-starter from race 1.
That's right, the car conked out on the warm-up lap and pulled off on the grass on the Hanger Straight. And the PR6s, the centre seat versions of the Pro Sport, still popular. Don't seem to see very many club sports out anymore.
No,
which is a shame because they're great little cars, and there were dozens of them.
Yeah,
they must be lurking somewhere.
Oh, and that's Charles Hall getting past one of the back markers at 28, which is Nick Sladden, Charlie Sladden, should say, in the Sabre T2A, the ex-Tim Hovard car. Charlie's been racing this season, hasn't had, brilliant season in terms of reliability.
The fabled Hovard craft.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
54 is the race leader in the Sports 1000, Ryan Yarrow. He's turning his way through Luffield Corner now. He's at 22nd overall. There's Charles Hall. He's doing best laps of the race, 2:16.84. So this is going to be lap record territory, of course, for these cars. He's.
I wonder what they do in perfect conditions.
Well, we saw 2 minutes 6s, I think, didn't we, in the early stages of the Burkett
Very early yesterday, yes. But that was I suppose the only bit of clear track they had from in the first half dozen laps or so.
That's right, there is Charles Hall, single-seater racer, Class A champion already in Bikesports this season, but not going to be the overall champion this year. Leon Morel is still there in 2nd place. He's 12 seconds clear of his nearest rival, Philip Brown, within the class, so he's having a good, strong finish to the season. '77 and Charles Hall making his way through the sweepers at the Beckett's complex. Through Chapel, he will come and out onto the Hanger Straight for the 5th time in this race. 7 minutes of it left to go. back into the Sports 1000 grid, and Dan Clues has been making up places. We could see him there in the number 81 car. He's ahead of John Cutmore now, but they're soon going to be lapped, aren't they, by the race leader Charles Hall.
That's right, and Charles pushing on really strongly, and Charles Graham's dropped way back. He was running in the top sort of half dozen or so earlier on. He's now in 12th. But there's Charles Hall in the Mittel. 3 more targets ahead of him to negotiate.
He's going to lap the whole RGB field, sorry, Sports 1000 field here, I think, because Ryan Yarrow, there he is, not too much further up the road.
That's Yarrow coming into the loop, isn't it?
He's doing 2-minute 42s, and Charles Hall is doing 2-minute 16s, so nearly 30 seconds a lap faster.
Yeah.
And that is the difference between slick tyres and treaded tyres, even in suboptimal conditions for slicks.
So there is Ryan Yarrow in 54, car that changed colour this year. And he dabs the brakes, flicks it into Luffield corner, trying to maximise his exit speed for the run down towards Woodcote. Keeping it nice and smooth into the apex. And up now towards Copse. He is now running, this is 22nd overall. He leads the class. And Charles Hall just goes through to complete lap 5.
Yeah, Yarrow and Morel here, both regaining championships that they last won in 2021. Yarrow won it in 2020 as well. Morel's first title was in 2021, and he also was the second in the championship last season as well, as was Ryan Yarrow to Richard Webb last year in Sports 1000. But now Charles Hall has indeed lapped the Sports 1000 leader and Sports 1000 champion, Ryan Yarrow, who's done it with 4 3/4 minutes of the race left to go. So great drive this from Charles Hall, and making amends, I think, for the disappointment he faced in race 1.
He was probably sort of thinking on Friday his weekend was over when his car broke, but enjoying the 1340, the power upgrade.
90 car there is William Patton, the Scottish driver from Livingston. He is in 21st position overall, the last of the Bikesports cars. The Revelation going through there, we could see that struggling a little bit in this one in 12th place.
Yeah. I heard one car go past our studio, because we don't have a view out onto the racetrack, sounding very a deep-throated sound, so it wasn't quite firing properly.
The Wolf's in again, just looking at our pit lane camera that we have in the commentary box here. So that's Seamus Healy back in.
3.5 minutes to go.
So I think they may as well call time on this race. There's John Cutmore now. He's got Dan Clues behind him at the moment. This is for, well, that's a change for 3rd position actually. He's got ahead of Dan Clues on this lap. It's still Colin Chapman in 2nd, who, as a result of that, if he stays there, is going to exclude himself from the Sporting Cup Championship. He's leading that championship, and by finishing 2nd in this race, he's going to exclude himself from it, and it will mean probably actually, because was Jonathan McGill taking part in these races? Yes, he will probably inherit the championship instead, although I've not worked out the points on that.
If you finish in the top 3, you're out of it for the whole of the year.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
If something, a sort of real freak result happens,
you're excluded. But this doesn't seem that freakish. It seems like it's been done on merit, because Chapman's been showing good pace all day. There's the 11 car lapping the 2 MKs. Yeah, who's in 3rd place overall, coming through to complete his 6th lap of the race. I think we'll get this lap and then one that he's just starting, and then one more. Charles Hall's done another best lap of the race at 2:16.56. There's Chapman going through. There is Cutmore. And it's interesting, in these dry conditions, the MKs aren't as close to the bikes, the Sports 1000 pace as they were earlier on, although they were in the very initial stages.
Yeah, that's that balance thing, I think.
So that's Watson.
You get good feel sitting in the middle of something like that, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
In damp. Because you know what, that was quite wide, wasn't it? I think that is actually the line there, because the white lines on the track pertain to the international circuit that we used here with the 70 Motor Club in August.
Yes, it's a little bit confusing. That's the 14 car of Kenzie Beecroft, who's
under pressure, under braking from 88.
Yeah, from the car we just lapped.
A lap ahead.
Yeah, that's the fascinating thing, isn't it? These cars do have different strengths at different parts of the circuit. So a minute or so left to go. Here's Charles Hall. He's going to get one more lap at the end of this one then. Making their way around the right-hander at Luffield. There's Ryan Yarrow, who's still leading in the Sports 1000 part of the race. He's in 22nd position.
Yeah, so he was lapped a couple of laps ago. Being gobbled up, wasn't it? And there was 7 laps down. Last lap should be, yes, last lap board goes out to Charles Hall. 2:16.55, another fastest lap. 100th of a second quicker than last time.
Well, he's done lots of fastest laps, all in the 2:16, so it's been remarkably consistent.
Yeah, which over a 3-mile course is saying something.
It really is, and just chipping away at his own fastest lap and lap record it will be as well for the Bikesports Championship, although we know that in full dry conditions these cars could probably go 10 seconds a lap faster, if not more. So he goes on to the hanger straight for the final time, and he's 13 seconds clear of Leon Morel in second place, who's just done a personal best lap as well, a 2:18.95, so he's going to be second here.
Yeah, no one else is under 2:20. In fact, no one else appears to be under 2:25, Ian.
Not in recent laps. Best laps of 2:23 for Philip Brown and Kenzie Beecroft, but not in the last couple of laps.
Oh, that's a bit hairy.
It's only 13-second lead you've got, Charles. You've got to be careful. That's the 23 car coming through. That's a bit further down. That's Dominic Langdon down, who's 21st. And the 91 car is about to be passed. That is the car that's being lapped, I think, for the second time of Charles Wright. But clock has counted down to 0 now. Charles Hall making his way through Village for the final time.
There's Ryan Yarrow, comes down towards Stowe Corner, I think that is.
Looks like it. So sort of lap and a half pretty much behind Charles Hall now, who is on the Wellington Straight for the final time. It is starting to get a bit gloomy here at Silverstone, looking out of our window for what view that we have. Yes, it's give it another 5 or 10 minutes, it will be pretty dark out there. But Ryan Yarrow making his way through Club Corner now for the final time, so he's got half a lap to go, just a corner or so to go for number 77. Charles Hall going to come through to take the checkered flag to win the final round of the 750 Motor Club Bikesports Championship, and of course he'd already wrapped up the Class A title as well. And here comes Ryan Yarrow then, who wrapped up the Sports 1000 title earlier on today. He's through Farm now, through the right-handed hairpin at Village for the final time. They're going to go through the left-hander at the loop, and he's had a relatively untroubled day.
Yes, I think this morning he was a little nervous about conditions, etc., but he knew that he was very much enjoying the upper hand in the championship race.
Yep, so he is making his way down to towards the checkered flag. Leon Morel has already taken second place and to win the Class B in the Bikesports part of the race. Yarrow turning his way through the left-hander at Brooklands, the right-hander at Luffield for the final time. And it's going to be a victory then for Ryan Yarrow in the Absolute Alignment Sports 1000 Championship. Here he comes up to the checkered flag. There it is. Well done to Ryan Yarrow. Great way to end the season for him. And there is Charles Hall on his slowing down. That was a 7th winner for the season for Ryan Yarrow. So he'd won half of the races that we'd had this year. Dan Clears, John Cutmore, Matthew Higginson and Rich Miles winning the others.
Philip Brown third in the number 11, 40.76 seconds adrift of second place. Kenzie Beecroft right on his tail. And fifth was 51 Daniel Headlam, and sixth with he had Jack Tomlin right behind him. Jack, who failed to start the first race.
So making his way on the slowing down lap with his the champion just behind him as well. There's Ryan Yarrow, and he was 22nd overall, wasn't he? Colin Chapman taking second place within the Sports 1000 grid, and John Cutmore third. So that was Colin Chapman's best result of the season. Had a couple of fourth places, 4 fifths, and a 3 sixths as well. So getting a P2 to go with that.
But no Clubman's Cup.
No Sporting Cup that will have eluded him because of that second place finish, but I suspect he won't mind too much. To get second overall is a great accolade, especially on the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. Ryan Yarrow waving to the marshals and the cameras and spectators on the slowing down lap there. I don't know if we're going to have a chance to go through the results or not before we head down to Josh. Let's have a look at those now. So the winner, it was number 77, Charles Hall, that took the win. He completed 8 laps in that race, and he was 14.25 seconds ahead of number 35, Leon Morel, who won his class. Third to number 11, Philip Brown. Fourth to number 14, Kenzie Beecroft. Fifth to 51, Daniel Hedman. Sixth to 28, Jack Tomlin. Seventh to 16, John McLeod. Then 8th was number 93, Stephen Larkham. 9th, number 19, James Keevil. And 10th was number 73, Alistair Smart. And we'll watch the next screen scroll through, and that's where we'll find our Sports 1000 winner. Or we should do, because he's not actually appeared there for some reason. We've not got the Sports 1000 cars there, but I can tell you that 22nd and winning the Sports 1000 class was number 54 Ryan Yarrow, from 63 Colin Chapman, and 98 John Cutmore. 81 Dan Cleese was fourth in that class, and then 5th and 6th were the two Cup 200 cars of Richard Webb, 88, who beat 85 David Watson. Marcus, some very brief final thoughts from you at the end of this weekend?
I think it's been an absolutely cracking end to the season. I mean, you could never guarantee the conditions in October, but we've had a stonking weekend here at Silverstone on the Grand Prix circuit, which is very special. Brilliant driving, great mix of cars, and some interesting debuts. The Revelation came out, which was really good, and again, sensational marshalling. Thank you, ladies and gents.
Thank you very much, Marcus Pye. Good to have you with us again. Look forward to seeing you again next season, and I look forward to being with you all again next season as well with the 750 Motor Club. From me, Ian Seven and Marcus Pye, it's good night. We'll leave you in the company of Josh Barrett.
So we're down here for one last time to catch up with some race winners, and the winner of the Bikesports race was Charles Hall. Charles, after the complete disaster, I guess, of earlier, that's a perfect way to end the season.
Yeah, it kind of took it out of my hands, really. The decisions were made by the gods. Just how the points work, and I said this to Leon, well done. He's, the overall, he's Class B, we've done Class A, but there's nothing really I could do to, you're racing a ghost. So yeah, the first race in the wet, it just kept coming down a little bit more and a bit more, and I'm thinking, wow. That's probably the hardest race, but yeah, mega to finish the season on a high, and all thanks to Scott for lending me his car because mine broke.
Tell us how different it was to drive to your one. I know the conditions weren't ideal, but how was it very different to drive?
The only thing, having a bit bigger engine but a bit more weight, it's actually smoother to drive. First time out in it this morning, we were just off on the bar, got it in the window, right tyres, gone. Yeah, lovely, mega.
Any idea what you might be racing next year?
I'm going to speak to the guys here and just see what we can do with the points a little bit, and see how it can sort of take away the sting, shall we say. I don't know, I love the sports cars, I love the bike sports. I'm sort of in bed, with the Mattel team now with their cars, because that's just unbelievable to drive. It's one of the best cars I've ever driven.
Well done, Charles, on the race victory. In second place and a class win for Leon Morel. Another class win to end your championship winning season, Leon.
Yeah, that's how we wanted to end it. That was a nice race. Minimal risk, just get it home. Yeah, good race. Congratulations to Charles, well deserved win. He's clearly the class of the Class A field. Yeah, would have been a deserving champion, but I've stole the one this year, so maybe next year.
Well, I think the same can be said about you, because you've said about all year about having more competitors out. There's more out this weekend, but it's the same 2 drivers at the front.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so proud of what we've achieved this year as a team. We do this as a team. We're a small group. Obviously, we've got the backing of Valor. They help us so much with the car, the setup and stuff. But we do this as a really small team. We're not funded or anything like that. And to get 5 track records in a row, pretty much win every race bar 1, which we screwed up on tyre choice, which we would have won anyway. It's a bit cocky, but yeah, I'm just proud of it. It's a solid team. The car's never DNF'd in its life. Like, you know, they put a lot of hard work in, and I appreciate everything they do. And
for yourself, you really haven't been racing for very long, but it's been a very successful car racing career up to now.
Yeah, I mean, 21, dream start, championship win, maximum score. 22, just missed out to my friend Simon. And then obviously winning it again, 23. I'm just mega pleased to see my family and friends in the grandstand going crackers on the last lap as well. That was really cute. So yeah, big shout out to them for coming this weekend. It's not exactly very sunny, is it? So yeah, I appreciate their support.
Well done this season, Leon. So Leon Morel, our champion. So they're the Bikesports drivers. We'll make our way down to the Sports 1000, and the winner again was Ryan Yarrow. Ryan, you said earlier you want to do a perfect end to the season. That's exactly what you've done.
Yeah, yeah, it's so slippy. I couldn't believe it. I think it was faster than before, but it felt worse, maybe because it's so cold. But yeah, I'm happy with that. It's quite surreal driving around with no lights and it's going dark and kind of on your own sliding round. Yeah, it's more emotional in that one than the other one, really, because I suppose it's done now. But yeah, it's probably saved the best till last, because I have had a lot of struggles this year, and it's kind of. Probably my own struggles have kept it tighter than it needed to be. I've put a lot of pressure on myself, so yeah, I'm really pleased. And
obviously you have developed the car. It's not a sort of a standard spy. You've done a bit of work to yourself, and do you think that's now really paid off?
I think at least it's kind of made it how I want it to fit. I'm not gonna. They're all as fast as each other, really. So yeah, maybe. I don't know. Sometimes I have an urge to change things and it doesn't work. So you know, it's one of them things. I've made loads of mistakes before as well. So yeah, I think just kind of consistent. My driving's been consistent all year, but the car's let me down a few times. So I didn't test on Friday because I just thought I don't want any reliability issues. So thankfully that paid off. Dead pleased with it, yeah.
Well done on your championship winning season. So Ryan Yarrow, our Sports 1000 champion, and the race winner today. Second was Colin Chapman. Second place, Colin.
It's amazing, isn't it, eh? My word.
And a great way to end the year.
Yeah, fabulous. I knocked myself out of the Sporting Cup, which was my challenge all year, and it's first podium of the year, so I'm really chuffed. Absolutely delighted.
And Ryan was saying how difficult the conditions were in these cars. Is that the same for you?
Phenomenally difficult, yeah. It was. We thought it'd be better than this morning, but it wasn't. Yeah. It was just as bad. I don't know what the lap times were in comparison, but it was lethal.
I think it really showed with the Bikesports out there how much different full racing wet tyres make, because they were coming past you.
Yeah, it was like, where did he come from? I was looking back and there was a big gap, and then suddenly there was a car overtaking me. They come from nowhere. But it was absolutely brilliant. What a way to end the year.
And back for more next year?
I guess so. 21st year next year, so got to do it.
Good to see you. Well done on second place. John in third position. I understand, John, might be your last race in this car, so a good way to end the car for you.
Yes, it's a good result, actually. Yeah, the car's sold. It's going to Clint for next year. Yeah. So I've done well to save the car, because it got a bit of damage the first time. Yeah. But no, it's been a great year. Good end of the year.
Was it fun coming back into the championship again after a few years away?
I haven't really been too far away, just been doing other things, but I'm looking forward to next year's fun Cup car. Yeah. So, yeah, it'll be good.
You had a little go in it yesterday, was that good fun?
Yeah, good result on the Burkett, 4th overall, so, yeah, it was really good.
And thankfully your car's a different colour, which makes our life easier.
Yeah, I've started a new trend there, I reckon, haven't I?
Hope so. Well done on a podium. And then finally our Cup 200 winner and the Cup 200 champion for the year, Richard Webb. Well done, Rich. Again, tricky conditions out there, but a good result.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we rightly or wrongly chose to stay on dry tyres, so it was, interesting to say the least. But yeah, I mean, a great result to keep Dave behind me for the race, and had a great battle with JC, and looking forward to more of that next year, hopefully.
And the grids are growing for these cars, and we've shown, I think, in the best way possible this weekend how good the cars can be.
I think absolutely. I mean, I think coming fourth in the Burkett yesterday with 4 cars running absolutely faultlessly, only you know, coming behind radical teams. I think it just goes to show what the cars can do. And again, coming P5 overall today, and Dave came P4 early, well P3, and myself P4 in the race 1. So it just goes to show how capable the cars are.
Obviously, you won the championship last year in Sports 1000. How different is that car to drive compared to this one?
Yeah, a lot different, to be fair. A lot different, but they move around a hell of a lot more, but it's fun and controllable. They're very predictable.
Well done on the championship, and I'm sure we'll see you next year.
Cheers, thank you very much, absolutely.
So there we go, that concludes not just our racing for today, but the 750 Motor Club season, which we've been able to broadcast for a lot of rounds thanks to Alpha Live. We hope to do more of that next year. Keep an eye on the 750 Motor Club website, 750mc.co.uk, and the social media. The 2024 calendar soon to come out, and we look forward to returning and talking you through the 2024 season next year.